Sonic, he can really move. Sonic, he turns 13. Sonic, he is close to middle age. Sonic the Hedgehog was created in 1991 by Yuji Naka and Naoto Oshima to be featured for the Sega Mega Drive so it could compete with Nintendo's mascot Mario and his latest adventure, Super Mario Bros. 3. The game had a focus on platforming and speeding through the level and defeating a mad scientist at the end. For the last 30 years, the Blue Blur has had his ups and downs. Some pretty bad downs. In spite of that, Sonic has managed to become a franchise that has spanned into different genres, from games, cartoons, and comics. But not movies. Until now. So why am I talking about this? Well, back in 2020, I only had time to see 2 films before the year basically cancelled itself and the cinemas were basically closed forever. One of them was Birds of Prey, or The Incredibly Strange Emancipation of Harley Quinn, where she dies and her team becomes mixed up zombies. And the other is this one. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Who has DVD cases in this day and age? The other question, of course, is, shouldn't this film have been a disaster? It should have, but it didn't. Not too long ago, movies that were based on video games ranged from being boring and inoffensive to just downright terrible. One of the many problems that these films had was where the filmmakers would try desperately to insert as many elements from the games into the film, regardless if it made sense. Such as how a villain from a third game appears in the first film, or adding in monsters that have no business being in the story that is being adapted. On the other hand, sometimes filmmakers would make a film that maybe has the main characters and puts them in a setting and location that has absolutely nothing to do with their franchises. Like having Mario and Luigi in a cyberpunk setting with the Mario Bros. Movie, or having King of Fighters, a series known for having fighters from different locations from around the world and fighting in a martial arts tournament, to instead having government agents using their virtual avatars to fight each other in the Matrix. Seriously. So here I am, about to watch a movie based on one of my favorite video game franchises when I was a young lad, and now we're gonna see how Paramount Pictures... could have been a disaster. So, after the less than savory remarks that everyone had for the first trailer, Paramount decided to go over the entire film again and redesign Sonic to make him look more marketable and agreeable to the audiences. And I want to make this clear, I give all the praises and apologies to the CGI artists and visual effects people who had to do this job, because this probably could have affected the film's performance, and Lord knows this film probably was already fighting an uphill battle. So, to every member of the film, I just want to make this clear. I am not mocking you. You guys probably did the best you could, and I think you made the right call on this one. So with all that said and done, let us take a look at the Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
You might know everything I'm going to do, but that's not going to help you, since I know everything you're going to do. Strange, isn't it?
No, not that one. So our movie begins with Sonic being chased by an odd-shaped jet, and no, I didn't skip any scenes or start near the end. What we saw here is an example of in media res, a storytelling technique used by filmmakers and storytellers as a way to tell the story from the end point, and then the rest of the story is told as a flashback or a memory that the hero is going through so that he can sort of see if he can think of a clever way out of his current situation by looking back on all of his adventures previously. It has been used in multiple films beforehand, such as in Sunset Boulevard and Fight Club. Why are those my go-to examples? Anyway, we start off with baby Sonic running through the Green Hill Zone and meeting up with his owl mother. Apparently she is worried that Sonic could have endangered himself.
No one saw me. I'm too fast.
And with that bit of irony, a tribe of knuckle-headed echidnas tried to kidnap our hero for his super speed. What's funny is, this isn't the first time the echidna tribe has tried to take a power that they have no understanding of and have attacked innocent creatures to get to it. Isn't that right, Chaos?
Bah! I don't listen to the words of a child! Ready, men? Charge! Oh, it's a monster! No!
So after Longclaw uses a ring to make a portal to save Sonic, we get not only our extremely brief title sequence, but also an explanation for something that has bugged me for years. What has always frustrated me about all these Sonic games was how almost all of his games keep changing where the game is set. For example, the game started off with Sonic and friends in some kind of funny animal world. But then when the games were released for the Dreamcast, we had Sonic running around in a modern city like Miami or San Francisco. And of course, some of the more recent games tried to suggest that Sonic occupies in some weird amalgamation of both worlds. So yeah, this film is the one that actually figures out how to explain the whole weirdness of Sonic's lore by explaining that Sonic is some sort of interdimensional traveler who uses these rings to transport himself. And what's weirder is that this actually happens in some of the games, like in Sonic 1 and Sonic 3, and also in this trailer for Sonic Mania. Anyway, we then meet up with James Marsden playing Tom, aka Donut Lord, who is, as usual, the most charming actor that is to play the sidekick in movies. For more examples, take a look at these. Afterwards, we have Sonic appear properly by saving this turtle and enjoying his life all while Queen's Don't Stop Me Now is playing. Alright, let's add this up. Wayne's World, Highlander, Flash Gordon, all have had songs from Queen in them. I think we'll just let history decide how people remember this film.
Oh no.
Hey, Sonic just stole Knuckles' line.
Oh no.
We then have Sonic look over a map of all the worlds he can still go to if he is ever discovered, as well as a few Easter eggs like that emerald over there.
Gross, smelly mushrooms.
I hate mushrooms.
It got worse when that fat Italian jerk in the overalls started living in there. But enough of that potential drama. Sonic hides from the residents of Green Hills, and yet still finds time to fool around with a deviant artist over here. However, in fairness, the film does make it clear that our hero does feel lonely and wishes for some friends and a genuine reason to want to stay in this world. It's kind of weird seeing Sonic as naive and innocent as opposed to his usual rebel without a cause attitude, but I do wonder if this is supposed to be something that's built up because we see in this film that Sonic is dreadfully lonely and actively chooses to emulate characters he sees from films, particularly Keanu Reeves movies like Speed. So I'm wondering if this is supposed to showcase a inevitable character growth, that when he interacts with Tails and Knuckles, he'll try to emulate that 90s attitude, and as the films progress, he realizes that he needs to just be comfortable with who he is as opposed to try to appeal to some unbelievable cool guy attitude. Or he could just be a jerk, who knows? But while Sonic is looking for reasons to stay in Green Hills, Tom is excited over the fact that he gets to be a policeman in San Francisco. Just keep an eye out for those lorries. They can get a bit intense.
want someone to turn to me in a life and death situation, and I'll be there for them.
Well, with that bit of foreshadowing out of the way, we cut to Sonic being inspired by some kids playing baseball to try it for himself. Unfortunately, just because you're fast enough to play every part of the game doesn't change the fact that you're alone. So in a moment of sadness, Sonic starts running so fast that this happens.
I'm sure no one noticed that giant blue explosion, right?
We then cut to the Pentagon, where the secret board of shadowy figures discuss just what the hell is going on and agree to send in an expert to deal with this.
Just any lab rat. A lab rat with teeth.
You're not suggesting who I think you're suggesting.
But who on Earth could be so brilliant that could deal with a strange animal?
Alrighty then.
Actually, this is Dr. Robotnik, played by the one and only Jim Carrey. And I think he's trying to do some sort of parody of some of his more well-known roles in the late 90s. He's where he...
Nobody cares!
Okay. I'll just go and I'll just sorry. Wait a minute! Anyway, Dr. Robotnik sends out his Amazon drones to look for clues and discover what is going on. But first, this line.
Ooh, look what came out of my egg sack.
Hey, phrasing!
So with the army looking for him, Sonic decides to get out of danger, and just as he's about to use one of his rings to portal out of Dodge, he hesitates and decides to find a place less exposed. I do actually like this, because we can see that he can easily go to the Mushroom World whenever he wants, but he's procrastinating, and he's trying to drag this out as long as he can. And we're going to see this both here and later on as the film goes forward. Unfortunately, Sonic's choice for a hiding spot was outside Tom's shed, and he decides to use his wife's tranquilizer gun on our hero.
Good. Now I know it'll work.
Oh, Marston, why are you so charming? So Tom shoots Sonic in the leg, and our hero is then rendered unconscious. But as he starts dozing, he drops one of his rings, and because he was looking at Tom's San Francisco shirt, a portal opens, and the rest of Sonic's rings end up at the top of the Trans-America Pyramid. But while Sonic and Tom are getting acquainted, Dr. Robotnik follows the trail and discovers where our blue hero is hiding. Despite Tom's best efforts, Dr. Robotnik finds one of Sonic's quills, and after threatening Tom, Sonic does the noble hero thing, and thus we get the best part of any Jim Carrey movie. Afterwards, our heroes take off in Tom's car, and thus our family road trip begins.
No, this is not some fun family road trip, okay?
Okay, sorry, I was just... Why am I talking to the film as if it's alive? Okay. We then have a scene where Marston tells Sonic where to go, and we see Sonic had a bit of navigational issues. This is actually coming back to an earlier part of what I was talking about. How Sonic is basically doing everything he can to delay leaving Earth, and he's just trying to squeeze out as much fun as he can by doing everything he wants on his favorite planet before he has to leave. Sonic then gets into a standard pub fight, and it goes as well as you think it does. Our heroes soon get attacked by Robotnik's latest Batnik, which leads to Sonic using his classic spin dash to destroy the robot. Except instead of a small animal popping out, a smaller robot crawls out and starts chasing after them. Thankfully, Sonic, using some creativity and skateboarding tricks he definitely did not have time to learn, manages to destroy the motorbug. So with that destroyed, Okay, turns out there was another small robot that comes out and chases after Sonic. So after Tom smacks the unicycle droid with a baton, the Batnik is finally destroyed. Oh, come on!
Alright, we'll call it a draw.
He's not far off with that remark, as Sonic does get knocked out by the tiny helicopter drone exploding. However, as this is going on, Dr. Robotnik discovers about the energy that is flowing through Sonic's quill, as he has the idea to use it to power his inventions. Which leads us into what is becoming more common after the Joker movie came out. The villain dancing scene. I'm not sure why this is becoming more and more of a thing, or why it's so popular. Maybe it shows our villain having fun with what they do, or maybe this is a sign of them at their most evil and insane. Perhaps it is close to that Nietzsche quote, and those who were seen dancing were thought to be insane by those who could not hear the music. Either way, it does look fun as hell.
Evil grows in me.
What? Carrie is a good dancer.
What did I?
We then cut to Tom and his veterinarian wife Maddie do what they can to help Sonic.
Gotta go fast!
And because this film isn't adorable enough, Tom's niece gives our favorite hedgehog some iconic looking footwear.
Oh, all right, looking good.
The look is now complete. But I do wonder what he would look like as a werewolf. Our heroes then sneak through the building and manage to make it to the top, and just like that, Sonic has his rings. So hopefully we can get to the special stage at the end of the level. Wait. That only happens in the video games. So why do I feel like I'm forgetting something?
Welcome to San Francisco, Mr. Wachowski.
Ah, yes, Robotnik and his sleek jet arrive, and we now have Sonic giving us this explanation on the classic debate.
Eggs are pretty impressive, Mr. Eggman.
You know what's funny? There's been this debate for years about whether it's Dr. Robotnik or Dr. Eggman, but this film manages to find some sort of happy medium where Sonic's unique quirk as a character, where he will introduce all the people he interacts with these strange nicknames, it kind of works as an explanation for why he gives Robotnik this derogatory nickname, and it flows naturally with his...
Time for talking is over! It's time to push buttons.
Okay, this is getting scary. Anyway, Sonic uses his super speed to Quicksilver a way out of danger, save Tom and Maddie, and dodge all manner of bullets. Except it turns out that the good doctor figured out a way to supercharge his vehicle and is not only able to keep up with the blue blur, but also hit him. So as Sonic is running away from the mad genius, we cut back to where we started from. And now we get the explanation for why we did the whole en media res thing at the start. Yeah, actually no. They really did not have a reason for doing the whole en media res thing. Just seemed like a really odd way to frame the film. Back to the action. We get some explosions as they fly through Paris, the Great Wall of China, and even through Egypt.
You're not allowed up there! It's one of the 7 wonders!
But eventually, a blast hits Sonic and keeps him down. But as usual in these films, we have the townsfolk bound together to stand up to the villain. However, it looks as though our hero has been killed. But luckily, Sheriff Tom fights Robotnik off for a bit and then gives the bog standard friendship speech to revive Sonic.
He was my friend.
So you guys ever wonder if there's like a film or story out there where someone does a power of friendship speech and the hero just stays dead, like it does nothing? It'd be wild if something happened like that. After a hellacious series of strikes that I haven't seen since Sonic Spinball, Sonic and Tom manage to trap Dr. Robotnik into the Mushroom World. Sonic and Tom share a high five, the trio then set up a new home in Green Hills, and they all live happily ever after. Well, that was a fun movie. Now I think I'll give my final thoughts and... Right. An after credits scene. God damn it, the Avengers. We see that Dr. Robotnik, looking more like his game counterpart, and still has Sonic's quill, as he promises to return.
I'll be home by Christmas.
And I'm sure you'll make it in time to steal it. Now, here's my closing thoughts about the film, and... this film is never going to end, is it?
I just hope I'm not too late.
Okay. Are we done? We're not going to get any more scenes of Samuel L. Jackson showing up to ask about the Genesis Initiative. We're not going to have Sonic teaming up with Kid Chameleon and Echo the Dolphin. Good. This was a lot of fun, actually. This was a good film. Like, not even like good for a kids film. This was a genuine, fun family film that I can recommend to hardcore Sonic fans as well as casual gamers alike. It's a good adaptation of a video game property, while at the same time having a lot of likable and fun characters that we want to see more of, and I am genuinely excited to see a sequel be made later on. So with the success of this film and Detective Pikachu, does this mean that the curse of the video game adaptation movies has finally been lifted? Only time will tell, but with the announcement of Illumination Pictures making a Super Mario Bros. Movie, we shall see what they come up with, but I honestly don't see how they could possibly make a worse film than their last excuse me. My phone's beeping. Okay. Chris Pratt as Mario?